Oh, okay. All right, we're gonna play one more here. One more. Let's do this. See, I'm trying to get used to this whole mouse and keyboard thing, but
Commence assault on Blue Palace. All units escort multi-troop transport and protected from clone ion disruptors. Wave 1 was eliminated. You are Wave 2. 80% casualties predicted.
Let's start trooping.
Yeah, we're just hanging out here in West Hollywood, eating some breakfast. Like you said, we're going to go over our day one of E3. Pete's not going to be with us because he's at the PC Gamer press conference, so he'll probably have some impressions from that in another episode. But good first day. Definitely good first day. Being able to go over to EA Play. Got a couple hours with Star Wars Battlefront 2. We got all three of us got some gameplay capture from it, so we'll probably be uploading some video from that when we get time, obviously, with E3 and everything going on. But I really enjoyed Battlefront 2. I liked it. We're playing on PC, keyboard, mouse, so always when I'm on keyboard, mouse, it takes me a second because depending on what key is for reload and all that. Once I had all that, once I knew what sprint was and crouch and all that, I loved it. I loved having the different classes, and depending on how you get you get kills, or you're basically like in a support nature, like doing defense, you'll get points. Anywhere you get all these points, and that allows you to unlock other features, like you unlock an AT-AT, or you can unlock like a ship, or you can get to one of the heroes like Han Solo or Rey or Darth Maul, things like that. A lot of fun, man. And I even do you remember the name of the actual multiplayer mode that we're playing, what it was called?
I can't remember the name of it. But it was basically one of the ships arrives to your base, and you have to shut them down so they won't attack and take over your base. So basically, it's kind of like is that what's it called for Halo? Well, all right.
But just real quick, just to describe it, so you have the two sides. You have the clone trooper side, and then you also have the droid side. And the droids are doing basically on the offensive, and they're pushing in to basically getting to your base or your throne room or whatever it is. And the clone troopers are in defense, so they're trying to stop you as you're pushing forward. So there's that first half of the multiplayer match, which is actually outside of the base. And then once the droids get to that point of the base, now they're pushing from the inside, and you're doing defense from the inside. So I like it. So we played about 3 matches as clone troopers, and then that final match we got to do from the other perspective as the droids. And I was digging it, man. I found myself gravitating a lot to that heavy class, because you have your assault class, you have your heavy class, you have your officer class, and then you have your specialist class, right? And I never use specialist. I use officer. Yeah, I was using heavy mostly, and then I use officer a few times, because basically the officer, his class perk is he can drop down like a turret, things like that. On the heavy assault side, I mean, you had like grenade launchers. You obviously had your heavy artillery that you could use in support. Heavy also had that shield that you could get, and depending on what kind of class support you pick, it'll nerf another feature that you could use if you're just using your normal assault weapon. Plus, there's actual weapons that spawn on the map that you can get to use as well, and then they're timed. Basically, like I said, it's like a superpower that you can use, and it's timed and limited, so you can't just spam it the whole time that you're playing the match. But like I said, overall, that first match I had to get used to it. But then by that second, third match, I was really starting to click and understand how to play the game. And graphically, phenomenal. We're playing on the PC, obviously, but phenomenal looking. Had that Star Wars feel to it, which I think is great. And while it wasn't overly complicated, I don't think this is going to be a super hardcore multiplayer game, it's also not just casual either. It's easy to pick up, but hard to master. I think that's the best way to describe it.
And this is actually not my first time. I played PC games a long time ago, but this is my first time that I actually played a first-person shooter game on the PC in a very long time. Very long time. And I'm not gonna lie, the first round was kind of tough for me because I was trying to figure out the controls and the mouse and everything. Because I felt it was just like too sensitive at first. But I think then the second round I got a little bit more better. Third round I was like, okay, I'm not like in the top five. How many players were in the group? I can't remember. We had a big group playing with us. It was a lot of people.
I'm pretty sure it was a 32-player match, so 16 versus 16. I want to say that's what it was. But yeah, there was definitely a lot going on the map. You know, this wasn't a small tactical thing. There was, again, it's DICE. It's the Battlefield series. This is what they're known for with their kind of multiplayer. And it definitely, like Pete and I were even saying, it had that Battlefield feel to it. So if you're used to that kind of multiplayer, you'll be able to jump right in to play Battlefront 2.
But even with that amount of people playing, it didn't feel like I couldn't walk that far because there was too many players around. And I felt like it was very open, like a Battlefield game, you know. So I had a blast playing Battlefront 2, man. It was a lot of fun, and I could see people really liking this a lot because the first game, I think the gamers got tired of it super quickly. I think people are going to last a lot longer with this game compared to the first game when it comes to multiplayer. Plus, they're adding a campaign mode there too. I think it's going to be good, man.
Plus, let's not forget, we were going against some of the top, like, because again, we're here for the EA Game Changers program. Again, this whole thing being able to do, it was sponsored by EA, so we'd say that up front. But being in there with all the game changers, so if you watched the EA press conference, you saw a lot of them on screen talking. So Pool Shark was one of them. He's one of the top players in the freaking world, and he was smoking it. Like every time I looked around, Darth Maul was on the screen just killing everybody, right? Dude, I got a headshot on him once and took him out. You'd have thought I won the Olympics. I was so happy. I was like, whoa! But that's how I know the game is fun, because I was getting into it. I was engaged. I was having fun. Like when I was dying, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to get back in because I'm going to go try this time and stuff like that. So a lot of fun, man. Plus, did you ever get any of the ships?
I tried it.
Yeah, I took one of the ships up. I was okay flying it around, but it was funny. I was like, let me try and loop around this building real quick, and I just boom right into it and blew up. So that was fun too. Dude, I had a blast with it. I really did. So I'm looking forward to more for Battlefront 2.
Commander is going to Republic side.
Oh, Ray got it. Ray got me. Ray got me.
Roger.
Multi-troop transport preparing to fire at the palace. The NTT has arrived in position despite severe damage. Terminate escort program and begin combat cycle. Phase 2 begins shortly. Proceed to the palace entrance and capture designated positions. The clones have delayed you too long.
Do this. You got it? Got two. Two more kills. Go up. there. Han Solo's there. Careful.
Roger, roger.
Emergency. The mission must be completed immediately.
Attempting to secure the west atrium. We are joined by a champion.
Palace access secured. Clone opposition remains stronger than predicted. Wipe out
They're inside,
nearby
they're inside.
squads and prepare for Phase 3.
Roger, roger.
Proceed inside the palace for final conquest. Seize designated areas before enemy reinforcements arrive.
God.
Roger, roger. Cunning warrior is fighting for us. Strategic control circuit. Initiating capture of the throne room. Patriot protocol engaged. We are inside the throne room. Securing now.
Enemy reinforcements incoming. The palace must be captured now.
Attempting to capture the throne room.